New York State promised children injured at birth by medical malpractice lifelong health care. But many families tell us the very program created to provide that care is failing. Last year, the governor acknowledged the importance of this program, but now she is not providing enough cash to keep it afloat. Investigator Masa Saidi went to Albany to ask why.
I didn't take a breath or have a heartbeat until 11 minutes old. So it was doctor's error that caused cerebral palsy.
Charles Diedemann suffered a neurological injury at birth. His family sued the providers for medical malpractice in court and won. But a unique New York law barred them from collecting full damages from the hospital. Instead, Diedemann got a partial award. Then the state enrolled him into the Medical Indemnity Fund, or MIF.
It's a fund for kids and adults with special needs. We're not getting the proper health care. I was really sick last year. Everyone's like, you need a GI doctor. You gotta see a GI doctor. Well, I'm saying, sorry, we can't see you because we don't know what your insurance is.
You're supposed to get care through the MIF.
Correct.
But you're forced to go to emergency rooms.
Correct.
Unable to secure a specialist through the fund, Diedemann says he repeatedly had to go to the ER for treatment. His mom, Tara McClellan, remembers a particularly dark day.
That day, he told me he wished he could die.
I recently just got bills in the mail in my name for like $20,000. Pay out of pocket and you'll get reimbursed. What if I don't have the money to pay out of pocket?
I'm tired of fighting.
Other families say the fund is increasingly denying claims.
I just feel we were lied to.
Last year, it abruptly shut its doors to new enrollees. The $52 million appropriated by the state wasn't enough. The fund needed $110 million to keep up with rising costs. The governor transferred the cash and promised us a full review.
This is a very important fund. I agree with the families that we need to continue this. So all these decisions are made in the context of the budget.
But when her budget dropped in January, once again, only $52 million set aside. At a hearing soon after, the governor's own health commissioner acknowledged the MIF will likely run out of cash.
If there isn't additional investment in this year's budget, then the fund will not be solvent, more than likely.
Right now, we are headed to Albany to get some answers for families.
You're only coming up with half that money. That's a failure of leadership.
State Assemblyman Matt Slater represents parts of Westchester. He pressed the health commissioner about the fund in February.
Why didn't the governor propose additional MIF funding or any substantial reform of the program for the upcoming state fiscal year?
I think the optimal approach is to work together and try to collaborate on solutions.
Was there any meaningful reforms proposed in the executive budget dealing with MIF?
So one of the things we've learned is that you don't love policy proposals in the budget, my friend.
There's plenty of policy in the budget. It's called Article 7 language, so honestly, it's just complete BS.
Right now, there's about 1,000 families in the fund. Others structuring their malpractice settlements also dependent on the fund's continued existence. But will it be there?
Please let us know if anyone from your agency, anyone has a couple of minutes to talk with us today.
The health commissioner would not discuss the fund or its future, leaving families desperate for reforms, waiting, watching to see what happens this legislative session.
Before we took action and had a lawsuit, he got medical care. So to me, very often this feels like it's a punishment for holding the hospital accountable.
What would you tell the governor?
It's wrong. The way it's set up is wrong.
And we did ask the governor's office why she's not fully funding this program, and they didn't directly answer that question. Instead, they said the governor wants to pass a budget that makes New York safer and more affordable. The purpose of this fund is to protect hospitals by limiting their liability in these medical malpractice type cases. Apparently, it can be crushing, according to the hospital lobby. So what are your thoughts here? Because I'm thinking about not just the families that are already in this fund, but also possibly future families that may have some issues.
What happens to this program? Is your sense that they're just trying to get rid of it?
You know, it kind of feels like that. So unless hospitals start putting more money into the fund, that's what's going to happen. And in her budget, the governor said if the fund does shut down, the families can just go back and get full legal recourse against the hospitals. But I don't think it's that simple. These are cases that have been developing over 10 years. So that'll be the story we look into next.
Okay, Masa, thank you.